Okay, we are live. We're gonna wait for a couple people to come on, and then we're gonna go ahead and do this. Yeah, I've been doing these podcasts for probably a couple months now. Trying to help families with their loved ones cases, especially cases that seem like they haven't went anywhere.
Okay.
We had one viewer. Okay, come on, bring some more viewers on. Okay. Okay, we got four. Four is our audience to me. Good evening, everyone. Tonight, we're going to be discussing the case of Kelly Allen. Kelly Allen was 20 years old when she went missing from Berkeley, Missouri on March 7, 2007. And she hasn't been seen since. Tonight, we sit down with her sister Brooke to discuss Kelly's case. A lot of people haven't heard about this case, and some have, but tonight we're going to get an inside look at the case and see what happened with Kelly that day. I always like to talk to the families because you read a lot about the case, but they don't never give you a lot of information. So, Brooke, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good.
Well, so, Brooke, please tell us about your sister Kelly, the circumstances surrounding her disappearance.
So Kelly came up missing March 7th of 2007. Um, she got into an argument with my mother. As far as from my mother's point of view, it's two sides to the story. From my mother's point of view, they got into an argument about her doing dishes, and she left and went to a friend's house. The friend name, I don't know if I can mention it. Can I?
You can, because it's all speculation, so you
Okay.
can.
She went to a friend house. That name is Brittany Johnson. She stayed out in Berkeley at Froston Airport Road. But that's that's what my mom said. When I got a call from my sister before she left the house, she said that her and my stepfather got into an argument, and he called her the B word, and she wasn't gonna deal with his disrespect anymore, and she was gonna leave. So I informed her like I can't leave work, but um, just stay there till I got home. Once I got home, she had already left the residence.
Okay. And after this, did she go missing after she left the house, or was it like a couple of days or a couple of weeks after?
Well, she didn't go missing right after she left the house. She actually had an interview on March 6th, the day prior to her actually becoming coming up missing, um, at a telemarketing place somewhere out in off of Sappleton Road, like Crestwood area. And the people actually scheduled her to come back for a second interview. And when the follow up for the second interview, when they called the young lady house that she was residing in, Brittany Johnson, that's when she told them she was missing and that she didn't know where Kelly was.
So she didn't say anything until these people called for the second interview.
Correct. When they called
So,
for the second interview, when they called for the second interview, she had already informed them that she came home and my sister wasn't there at her residence anymore. That she was gonna call the police. This was before she even reached out to my mother or anybody in our family.
and that was going to be my next question. I was going to ask you, did she reach out to y'all? So y'all didn't know either
No,
at
we
the time.
didn't know. No.
Wow. Okay. And so she could have probably went missing. So she probably could have been missing like probably a week or so or two before then, right?
To our understanding, it could very well have so been possible.
Okay. And so what was her story? Because I read online that she said the friend said that she came home and she wasn't there. So that was her only story.
Her only story was that, yes, she came home from work after talking to my sister on prior occasions during the course of the day of the 7th. That my sister told her one of her boyfriends came by the house and he woke her up out of her sleep. That she said that was between like 8 and 9 o'clock p.m. And by the time she made it home, like 11:30 p.m., my sister was not there. She was no sign of her was there.
Now, did you guys have any prior knowledge of any boyfriends or boyfriend that she may have had? And what area with this? Is this still Berkeley where she's at? at the friend's house?
Yeah, she's still in Berkeley at a friend's house. Yeah, she was going with a guy named Dwayne. It was Dwayne Jackson or Johnson. He went by Wheezy. We knew of him as her being her boyfriend. And
Okay.
also, the young lady said that he had been spending time over there at her house with my sister while she was over out in Berkeley.
So is that true? Like, was he actually over there, or did he ever answer any questions?
We after we she told us that my sister was missing, and we started getting flyers, started printing out flyers, which we didn't do until probably like March the 13th, because we were still giving hope like she gonna come home, you know.
Right.
Started putting out flyers on the 13th of March. Yes, he came by my mother's house. He did have a gun on him. So thinking back over the years, we don't know if that was a scare tactic for her or for us. He did come over though. He did come over to
With a
my
gun
house.
on him?
Yeah, he had a gun on him.
Now, had he always carried a gun, or is this the first time you see him with a gun on his hip?
I personally did never even meet this young man until that day. I have never met him.
So did the police ever reach out to him and talk to him, and did he give them a story?
As far as I could tell, for one, let me say this. We spent the first 72 hours in Berkeley thinking that we needed to report her missing in Berkeley because that's where she was at. And we didn't find out until the 72 hours mark that we had to report her missing in the city. So we did a lot of footwork out in Berkeley for 3 days after we reported her missing, and we didn't even need to be out there. We should have been in the city.
Wow. And nobody said anything at all in this whole
No,
72 hours.
no, they mentioned the young lady, Brittany Johnson, her boyfriend, his name was Omar, something about he had a Mickey Mouse, and then they did on the guy Dwayne, my sister's boyfriend, be on the lookout. This is all hearsay. We never was there present to know if they actually interviewed these people, but they did say they did. They interviewed all three.
Yeah, a lot of times when they say they do it, sometimes they be lying. So like you said, you never know. And see,
Yeah,
that's the part I don't. That's the part I don't like because a lot of times they don't let the family member know that they interviewed this person. I think they should, so that way the family don't be sitting back wondering, what's going on.
yeah.
Because from me reading about the case, I had always wondered who the person whose house she was at. So I'm glad you cleared that up. So after he, as they supposed to interview him, then then where did the case pick up at?
So once we realized that we had to report her missing in the city. We had Detective Stratford that was on the case. He was a Caucasian man. He gave us more insight than a actual detective that actually eventually taken over her case, which was Detective Griffin. We just had a bunch of runaround. They told us that she was 20, maybe she went out with a drug dealer, and he was taking care of her for the weekend. Her case to me was never taken serious, never from the beginning.
That's a lot with a lot of Afro American women, men, and children. They always want to label us runaways, and a lot of times we
Yeah,
we we didn't go anywhere at all. That's the part I
right.
hate about being labeled that. So they're saying all this crazy stuff, and I don't know. That's just it's it's unbelievable. Some of the stuff that I hear.
Yeah. And also, she had a tax return that she was looking forward to in 2007. She filed with Jackson Hewitt Tax Service. They had showed us footage of her being there 2 days prior to her becoming up missing. So to me, that was a red flag in itself. If she was looking for a tax return, why would she just disappear?
So she never got the tax return at all.
No, we have a tax return put into a savings account where only she could touch it.
So question. So did she go to Jackson Hewitt alone?
Not the footage that we seen the 2 times she was by herself, like I guess checking to see if the check was there. We seen that she was by herself, but prior to, I can't say who she was with and who she wasn't.
Right. And that is strange to be looking for a tax check and then just go missing. So
Yeah,
something somewhere definitely happened. Just like nobody's not saying anything.
yeah.
Okay, so after you guys view this footage and you know that she was the Jackson Hewitt, then what comes after?
Um, the check comes to my mom's house. They kind of gave us some hope that maybe they told her that they mailed it and she would come home. Um, we grabbed her stuff from the girl's house, all her belongings. I think we did that March. I'm doubling back. I apologize. We
It's
did
okay.
that
No, you double back. You're good.
March the 8th. We doubled back. We went back to the girl house because she actually had footage of her dancing and playing with her daughter a day before all this happened. So she was in good spirits, doing just being herself. Um, so we went and got her belongings, and when we went to get her belongings from the young lady's house, she had the guy there that she told us she didn't go with anymore. His name was Omar. He was there, and from the video, her house was that young 20-year-old. Her house was a little messy, but when we
Right.
got there, it was sparkling clean, like
Oh wow.
sparkling clean. The floors in itself was one of the first giveaways. I'm a little high headed, so my mom was like, "Chill out, let's just get our stuff." I'm like, "Why your house so clean?" It rubbed me wrong. And the whole time her boyfriend was standing in front of the bathroom door, and I that still haunts me to this day. If I'd have just pushed him to the side to see, because he act like as if he was hiding something. The way he was standing blocking the bathroom door. But we got her belongings from the young lady's house, and my mom went through her clothes every day, every day. Me and her both was looking at all her clothes. We could tell what was missing, what she had on when she left. Um, and then I want to say 2 weeks, 3 weeks after her tax return came to my mama house, a little skirt was like just took it off, like she had came in the house and took it off and
Uh huh.
changed clothes. But we don't have any proof that she actually did that. It just was one item that we knew was missing and it popped up,
Oh, so one. Hold on. So go back. So one. You said one item that was missing, which was a skirt.
which was the little skirt that she used to wear all the time, like a little tennis skirt, yellow, white, and
Okay.
gray,
And where did it pop up at?
at my mother's house.
Did it pop up inside the house, or was it
It
left
was
outside?
inside. It was inside the house, inside her bedroom, right in front of her closet, like as if she took that off and put on something else.
And this is after she went missing. Wow.
This is after she was missing, maybe 2 weeks after.
Hmm. I don't see her bringing that back like that, and not saying anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what have us stuck right there because it was like, yeah.
Right. So after all this, so like you said, the police was basically giving you a runaround. So did they ever do any searches for her, or anything like that? Did they tell you about any searches at the girl's house? So no.
They told us they did. They did a search. It's been oh my God. So I'm not sure. We don't have any validation if they actually did a search. They said that they went into her house and they used the light to make sure nothing like blood or anything was um in the unit. But that's all what they're telling us. We wasn't out there. We don't know if they actually did it or not.
And you know what? Come to think of it, I would, if I was you, I would definitely check into that anyway because a lot of times when they do raids and stuff like that on somebody's house or they spray the loon and all that, they make
Mhm.
that stuff public.
Okay.
Even if it's years later, they make it public. Or I know most of the time they do, but yeah, that sounds strange because like you said, you was there and it looked like he was hiding something, preferably.
Yeah.
Okay, so so Kelly didn't have any kids, right?
No, she don't have any children.
And she's a nursing student, right? How
Yeah.
long has she been a nursing student for? Is that something she
Uh,
just started?
she had just started doing the nursing, in the nursing field
Okay.
prior to her,
So
maybe 6 months prior to her coming up missing. She was working at a nursing home out in Eureka, Missouri, I believe. I'm not sure the name of it. And
okay,
they let her go. She was
okay,
kind of upset about that.
Okay, so going back to Brittany, now was her and Kelly like good friends, like best friends? Like how did they meet, or she didn't know her too long?
They known each other quite a while. I wouldn't say Brittany was a good friend. I mean, the best friend of hers. I would say she was
Uh,
more of a partier with her. You know, the party girl she go
okay,
out with.
right, okay, totally understandable, totally understandable. So tell me about after the first year goes by and she's missing. Is there any movement in the case at all?
We have no new leads since we reported her missing in March 7th, 2007. There's been no new leads. I take that back. It was this was probably in 08. They called us, and for one, the city police sent got an anonymous tip that somebody had just laid a fresh thing of cement down in this yard in Berkeley. There was a grandmama's. I don't even want to get a misconstrued because I don't remember. It was a
Okay,
grandmother to some one of the people that was involved in the case. That she just
okay,
got some fresh cement laid down, and they said there was a body under there. So they did come and swab me, my mother, and my brother's mouth, and it turned up to be an animal bone.
oh wow, okay,
Yeah. So nothing since then.
nothing since then. And it's just like, and it's like she just dropped off the face of the earth.
Yes.
Yeah, because I'm going back and I'm thinking about you. You said she was on the video with Brittany's daughter dancing the day prior, and then
Yeah.
she goes missing.
Then that very
Yeah,
next.
yeah, very, very, very totally strange.
Yeah.
Your mother, I, I know it's been hard on her, all these years. How does she, cope with this, even to this day? Because I know it's been about 15 years, right, since she been missing.
Yeah. Almost 16 years. Um,
Almost 16. Okay.
my mother, she just over 16. My mother just that she keeps me going because her faith in God. She just keeping faith that no news is good news. Even after all these years, we had a private eye that we hired to look into the case. He basically just took our money and reported everything off of the police report. So just she just keeping her faith in God that she gonna come home to us one day.
Right, right. That's the way I like to think too. I like to always think that they're
Yeah,
out there somewhere and they're gonna make their way home.
yeah.
So, is there any like other like details that you could think of that also like raise red flags for you?
I'm gonna start with my stepfather. I don't know. Me and him never really had a good relationship, but he's the only one who wasn't questioned. My father, me and Kelly's father, he's no longer with us. He died in 2018. Um, he was questioned by the police. TV1 did a reenactment of her story called Finding Our Missing. I don't even know if they aired anymore. But even on the reenactment, it shows what my sister told me. It was her and my stepfather arguing versus her and my mother. So I still have a little speculation about him as well. Him and my mother's no longer together, but he did a lot of suspicious stuff that just kind of made me raise an eyebrow at him. For instance, we had a young lady called and said she knew where she was. This was probably 5 days into her being missing, and he deletes the number off of the phone, so we couldn't call the girl back. He has did a lot of things too that just, in this case, we just don't know.
Right. Yeah. There's so much shady stuff going on. It's like, who do you point the finger at?
Yes, exactly.
That's what I'm hearing. I'm really glad that you came on here to one get your sister's story out and talk about it, and so more people can learn her story. Like I said, I've come across her story so many times. And I've always been intrigued. I'm intrigued by a lot of these cases, because
Yeah.
I want to help. I always want to help, with these cases. So yeah, so the stepfather show. So basically, it ain't no short list of who's who in this case.
No, it's not.
What's Kelly like?
Kelly was a free spirit, the life of the party. When you see her, she always smiling. If you ain't smiling, she gonna give you a reason to smile. Um, she just was vibrant, a free spirit, just loving, just it's hard. It's hard because I'm the oldest of the three of us, but me and her always had a real special and close bond, and it's been a daily struggle. I'm a mom now, and I just can't imagine her not being here to see my three boys, and then my brother has two kids. It's so much that she missed that I know that if she was able and willing to, she wouldn't have missed in our lives.
Right, right. Totally, totally agree. I agree with you on that too.
Mhm. Yeah.
So, so do you think like going forward that your sister's case could be solved?
I hope and them my prayers and every night is that God got her wherever she may be. But on top of that, he the only one that knows the answer to what happened to her. And then if she's not here with us no more, we would just give us a sense of clarity so that we can get move on. But after so long, my faith just goes stronger. She out here somewhere. It's just she can't get to us for whatever that may be.
Right. And as of today, where does the case stand? Is it closed, open? I mean,
They told us it was a closed case in 2012, that it was a cold case, and the only way that some new eyes would get on it is if a new detective decide he wanted to just open the case. And however the police protocol, I'm not really aware, but that's what we were told in 2012. Her case was no longer active. It was a cold case.
so you haven't heard anything from the police since 2012?
No.
I would I would start calling them and getting on their nerves and bugging them and see what you can stir up, you know? Because you never
Yeah.
know. Like, I've been seeing a lot of cases that have been solved after 15, 20, 30 years. You know, that's why I never give up hope. And I always encourage the family members to never give up hope. Even if you feel like you want to give up, just just keep on going because you know your sister Kelly will want you to give up. You know,
Right.
she wants you to help bring her home. You know, at all costs. So I think that with every case, I think that eventually every case will end up being solved some kind of way. If it's not by the police, it'll be by the family. You know,
Yeah.
and I think social media is a good thing for these cases.
Almost definitely. Yes.
Yeah. So, is there anything else you want to add? You know, to your sister's story?
No, just if anybody see, just look at the flyer. I mean, it's been a long time, but her facial features ain't changed. Just
Yeah, she's beautiful too.
thank
She's really
you,
beautiful. Yes.
thank
Yeah, I'll be
you.
uploading this. I'll be uploading this to YouTube too. Actually we're live streaming out on YouTube and both of the Facebook pages. So we had a lot of viewers so far. So they're watching, and people are they know who your sister are, and more people know because I'm gonna post it everywhere. I'm gonna do everything I can to help you. If you need anything, don't hesitate to reach out. If I can do anything of my service to help you, I'm definitely here for you.
I definitely appreciate you.
Thank you so much. And this has been Mr. Blackwood Live. Brooke, thank you so much for coming on here and sharing Kelly's story.
Thank, thank you.
You have a good night.
You too. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.